For my 89th episode, I'm bringing you something. If you come to LA or you live in Los Angeles, you need to run. Don't walk to this restaurant, Soul Hollywood. We're talking to two of the chefs next.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Lives. Breaking into.
Bobby, why do you like soul food?
Because it makes me happy.
I like that. Little JB's in the house. We're talking about some soul. When I say soul food, I mean like food that feeds your soul also. And this place does that. Not even a joke. I mean, you've heard this beat before and everything. Hi, I'm James Lott Jr. Welcome to Breaking Into here on Black Hollywood Live. I'm so glad you can join me for my 89th episode. We're moving right along here in the year. Tomorrow's the first day of fall. That's right. We're moving right along this year. And so, fall's all about food. Well, okay, so is spring, summer, and winter. But fall's about food too. And my guest today, and there's some food on this table. I don't know why I'm talking to you because I just want to start eating. I don't know why I'm like on screen trying to talk because this food is going up my nose. So good. We can talk each thing too. I can actually really vouch for this new restaurant that's in Hollywood. I went there and ate my brains out, and every single thing was delicious, no joke. Then took a tour of the place, and it's beautiful. So I'm gonna show you some pictures of food. It's in a great location on Hollywood Boulevard. And we're gonna talk to two of the chefs who are important to like the operation of the food in the kitchen. Both of my guests are chefs. They've been around. They have long resumes and have made this food that's sitting right in front of me. We have Chef Giulian Jones. How are you?
I am great. I'm well rested today. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And Chef Yealang Smith.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having us
Welcome
today.
to the show. Welcome to the show. And so the first one, I'm going to say this address like 10 times. 7046 Hollywood Boulevard. 7046 Hollywood Boulevard. You don't remember nothing else. Remember 7046 on Hollywood Boulevard. So we say that 10 times. I'm sitting here looking at this food going, oh my God. This was a long time coming, wasn't it, this restaurant?
Yes, it was a long time coming. And
Yeah.
there's an old saying, good things come to those who wait. And so here it is. You wait no longer. Come and get it.
I always also say that things are right on time. They always say God
Right.
comes right on time. Things are on me. So it was a long time. Maybe the time was now.
Yep. Never fails.
That's how I look at that. Now, okay, so we're gonna first talk about the actual restaurant. I want to show a couple of pictures. We have 3 pictures I want to show of the interior and one of the exterior. It's beautiful. I mean, the restaurant, you walk in, it's open air. It's inside, but it's open. It's open floor plan, and it's beautiful. I mean, your bar. Like I ate upstairs. It's just beautiful. It's so nice in there. And it's big.
I think 6,000 square feet is the number.
It's huge, and that's the outside. Okay, so I mean, it's a huge place. How many people can it hold for dinner?
I believe we're looking at about $1.50.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, sir.
That's good. And they have several different 2 tops, 4 tops. What's the largest party you've had? Do you think since opening?
We've had like 200 people just the other night.
Okay.
Pre-Emmy party.
Oh, very good. You guys have several. You have some events there, haven't you? Since
Yes.
you opened.
Multiple events before we opened.
Yeah.
Currently, like Yealang said a couple nights ago, a massive party for the Emmys, red carpet. Really wonderful.
Because you're right there. I mean, literally, they're right there. Yeah. Like you're in a great location. The cross street is
Hollywood and Sycamore.
That's right, Sycamore. And it says right there. You have valet parking. They have valet parking, you guys. So if you don't want to take an Uber, take a Lyft. But if you want to bring a car, they can valet park it for you. It's hard to find parking over there. That's one thing that people keep asking me. I said, don't worry about it. They'll take care of that part for you. I don't want anybody discouraged.
Yeah.
To come.
People hate to drive in LA.
I know.
Parking is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But in LA, everybody valet. They valet everywhere. There's like dry cleaners that valet. Everybody valets.
There's a
these days.
Sizzler on Highland that I valet at sometimes.
Your little side job. A little side job there. I love that. So, Julie, we're gonna start with you. You've been around for a long time, and I've been around. So, where are you from originally?
You want the long story or the short story?
I want the halfway long, halfway short story.
Halfway, the Tinder story.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Originally, I'm a military brat, and I was born in North Africa, Tunisia. Spent about the first 8 years of my life there.
Wow.
But my father is also still actively touring bluegrass musician, so we traveled quite a bit Raleigh, North Carolina, Falls Church, Virginia, Washington, D.C., Parkersburg, West Virginia, home of the Big Reds, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh. I saw Pittsburgh on the other day. I was like,
Yes,
I
sir.
have family and homes in Pittsburgh. So
It's a wonderful, wonderful part of the world to be from. A lot of history there, a lot of culture there, and there's a lot of soul in the South. A lot of soul there, for sure.
Yes. And okay, so I want to start back to the Tunisia part. So, I mean, you were there first 8 years.
Yes, sir.
And so, but you were on a military base, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you learn local language and stuff there too, or?
The primary language was Arabic. The secondary language was French. But on the military, the base was English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just curious, like, wow. So I'm sure all of those places you have been influenced your cooking.
100%. Yeah, you're a sum of your ingredients, your recipe, your gumbo. So you live a little bit here, live a little bit there. You try to learn and pick up as much as you can, and the good stuff sticks.
And also, you spent time in Hawaii too.
Yes, sir. I was there about a year.
And so that I'm sure that influenced things too. I see there's some cute little flowers on here. You're telling me about.
Sure. I was in Maui for a little over a year. And I was telling you earlier, those flowers in Yealang, that I saw them when I landed. You get laid, of course.
Yes, bump. Yeah. Yes.
And there was a whole wreath of those flowers in every restaurant, every hotel that were very, very popular.
Wow. Yeah. And now, Yealang, where are you from?
I was born in Kinston, North Carolina.
Okay.
And I came to California when I was 8 months old because my mom came here to go to school.
Oh, wow.
So even though, I spent a lot of time, obviously, in California, I'm a Southern girl.
At heart.
At heart. And my dad is from Louisiana.
There you go.
So, I have those recipes. I
Yeah.
grew up with that Texas, Louisiana, North Carolina.
She got gravy in her veins.
all
Okay,
day.
so me too, girl. Me too. I grew all that too.
Yes, I also went to Howard University in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. So you get a chance to travel the Eastern Seaboard. I had an uncle in New York. So when you travel, you eat. And,
Yes, that's true.
And I think all having been not in one place has helped my cooking.
You both have that in common.
Mm-hmm.
Howard University. What was like going to a historically black college?
It was amazing. I'm still very good friends with all my classmates from Howard, and I'm getting a lot of support from the Howard alumni with Soul.
Oh, good.
And the entire community watched very closely as this project came together, and they're ready to support us wholeheartedly.
I've known my niece Haley just graduated from Hampton College.
Yes,
Another one of those black. And it seems like they continue to stay in touch. The alumni is there.
it's real.
It's real.
It's
Is
real. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. But what is one thing about California that you really like though?
The one thing I love about California is we have all, since the farms are here, so our ingredient list is unlimited. And then California now, we have amazing wines. We're coming for the world with our wine list right now.
That's true.
Our weather is awesome, and I love with California, we figured out how to lighten up some of those traditional, very heavy menu items and make them more California-centric, more California-friendly.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about that because I'll ask you, Julian, especially knowing that people's taste in Los Angeles, especially, they want to be, I don't want this, but they want it. They want everything you want. They want lard. They want everything, but they don't want to eat it, of course.
Yes.
So you've had to modify some of the dishes, obviously, to kind of.
Well, like Yealang said, we have access to so much product. I think California is the 6th largest economy on the planet, just as a state. So if we don't have access to fresh produce, poultry, red meat, there's a problem. We can't source that. So we have spent a large amount of time sourcing these ingredients, cultivating these recipes. And Yealang was very conscious when I was first brought on about wanting to try to have as many healthier versions of some of the traditional heavy soul items.
For example, in front of you have the Caesar salad. So you said you do something a little different.
Well, traditionally
It's good, folks. It's good.
Traditionally, it's a romaine lettuce, and it's a very heavy mayonnaise-based dressing, but we try to flip it. So we have Dino lacinato kale, which is a black Tuscan kale. It's a lighter lettuce than romaine. We also use a non-dairy, non-egg-based dressing in there. It's a veganese, so for all you health-conscious
Yes,
people.
it's great.
We have herb homemade croutons in there. and fresh lemon zest, fresh cheese on there, and it's all California. Everything in
See, I
this.
like that.
Yes.
There's something about cooking with whole ingredients. You know, like the chicken is organic. We source that. A great farmer, a well-known farmer. We have happy chickens. So even some of the seasoning and spices that we're using are organic. It's nice to know that your food isn't sitting in a whole bunch of chemical.
Yes, and there's lots of documentary things on that. So like, it's good to know that at least California, we're leading the way and kind of like making sure all the ingredients really are fresh.
Everything on the menu is either 100% all natural or organic. Yes.
That's amazing. That's good to know. That's really good to know. Now, you both have worked for other places, and what do you think, in each of your opinions, sets working this place apart from the others?
Well, I want to speak to that because most recently, like while the 10 years and waiting for Soul to come together, you know, waiting, I had to work. I had to feed my family. I still had to, you know, have a existence. And so what I did was I got in the kitchens. I personally wanted to work in some of the best places.
Okay.
So I've worked in Wolfgang's kitchen. He runs the most awesome catering kitchen. It's really across the street from Soul. It's down the street. But it's just phenomenal. I mean, they're baking, they're searing, they're marinating, they're cooking at the absolute highest level. And so for me, I've learned to make sure that in our kitchen moving forward, that we continue to embrace, you know, just high standards and challenge ourselves and learn. Because I think the best thing that I have learned working in other places is that you keep learning.
Yeah, education never stops. It's like never stops. And I noticed at your kitchen, before you get to answer yours, but I noticed that you have separate stations for different things. It looks very organized to me. I'm organized, so it's very organized to me. It's like this area is for this, and this area is for that, and this area is for that, and it seems like it all works really well together.
There's a purpose for that, for sure.
Yeah.
It's not a very extensive menu. We are mindful of not trying to bog down the kitchen. So we have it's staged, is what it's traditionally called. So we have 9 items in one section, 6 items in another, 8 in another, to ease the burden, to help the food come out quicker and fresher.
Yeah. So for you, what's it like working? What's the difference about working here than other places you have worked?
I've worked in corporate America.
Yeah.
I've worked as a private chef. I've worked in a variety of places. For me, I think being actively creative, being allowed to have autonomy, because as an actively creative person, you want to create. You don't want to come in and punch a clock like you're working in a factory.
No, you don't. No.
So people get bored with that. I know cooks and chefs in the kitchen, they like to experiment. Yealang said that we're always trying to challenge ourselves. So we're always actively creating. As I mentioned to you earlier, we have desserts that we're changing constantly because I have ADD in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, this pudding is great. Now what are we doing tomorrow?
I got to tell you, I'm going to stop you there for a second because there is this cake they have with this caramel center.
That thing is good.
We said it was
Really
sex.
good.
Hide your kids, hide your wives. This cake was crazy talk.
It is really good.
It was really good.
It's delicious.
It was good.
Double layered chocolate caramel ganache cake, all made from scratch.
I eat the crumbs.
She's got some in her hair still.
Our pastry,
Hold on, I got some right here. I got some
our
right here.
pastry chef is cutting it when I can't wait till something drops on the side. I get the crumbs. I'm all
See,
over
I
it.
used to do that when I was a kid. I had a mother like you and a grandmother that were always cooking in the kitchen, and that's how I first started picking up the crumbs. And it was, while you're there, why don't you shuck that corn? And then I was put to work.
Yeah.
You want those crumbs? You want it? The blender that had the little mixer that had
Yes,
the cake batter on it. I want to eat that or the cookie dough. She's like, okay, so you shuck those beans, you clip this, you cut that,
Oh,
and
mine too.
work for your supper pretty early on.
I like that.
Yes.
We are live, and we have someone who has a statement and a question for you guys. Kenneth Clark says, "Hi, chefs.
Hello.
All the best on the restaurant.
Thanks, Kenny.
Who do you guys look up to in the culinary world?" Good question. Doing my job for me.
All right, I will speak to. There's several chefs, and they happen to be they're California chefs that I really look up to. I look up to. I'm sorry, that was my phone. The
Yes.
two,
She's so excited.
The two hot tamales.
Yes.
I followed their career as a young chef 20 years ago. I've had a chance to feed them in my loft downtown.
Wow.
One of them. It's because there's 2 of them.
Yeah, so full circle moment there.
I love those women. I love their work ethic. I love what they think about food. I love how they go deep in flavor. They make one of the best margaritas that I've ever had to date, still hands down. I don't know what, seriously.
How many did you have?
I only had one. I wish I had one now.
Okay,
You had one.
that sounds good. I'm like, that
We
sounds
actually
good.
you had a chance to meet them at that trade show.
I met them, and then also, so I really just appreciate them. But in really quick note, again, I want to say it. I love me some Wolfgang Puck. I do. I watch him on Saturday mornings. I like to see him sell his product. He sells everything.
I know he does.
think he might sell bed sheets
He
now.
probably does at this point.
But
Yeah, he
he
does.
is on it. I just love how and then he's just happy. I
Yeah.
like that he's a happy chef, because there's some chefs out there that are miserable.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I love happy chefs.
I actually worked for him for a day
Okay.
when he had Spago on Sunset.
Oh, I've been
Yeah, and it was a
there.
gorgeous, iconic property.
Yeah.
And I walked in and I busted my butt, and you staged a day, stage. And I worked like a 12-hour shift, no break, and it's an open kitchen, so celebrities and people are coming in, they're waving, and I was like really tired and busted my butt. And as Yealang mentioned, he's a marquee chef. He's branded himself very well, and he has very high standards for a reason. And at the end of the shift, he wanted to pay me a very small wage. And I said, I got to make a living. He goes, Julian, you can put me on your resume. And I said, I'm going to put you on my resume anyways, but you got to pay me, Wolfie. That was the end of that experience.
It's like I worked you for a day. I
Right,
still put you on there.
right.
But I need some money.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Wow. Well, who else do you look up to? Who do you look up to?
I've been fortunate enough, like Yealang, to work with some marquee names. I did a TV show with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, there you
he
go.
is world class.
Okay, you have to. I mean, I'm sure he gets this all the time. I feel like he's probably a super nice.
He could
guy.
not. He could not have been nicer. I worked with him twice actually. Once in Vermont, and before we were taping, it was sun up to sundown, cameras on you almost 24 hours a day, except when you were asleep. And they could have had one there hidden, by the way. That'll be a secret episode.
Yes.
And he would come in. We'd have breakfast in the morning. At the end of the day, he's like, "Hey, bud, where are we going? Where are we going to have drinks tonight? We're going to go bowling." And married. He's got a wonderful family. He could not have been nicer. And another full circle moment like Yealang had not long ago when I relocated back to Los Angeles from New York. I was having dinner with some friends at a place that I will not mention.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful, gorgeous Hollywood spot. And there, David Beckham was sitting next to Gordon Ramsay, and I walked by, and he waved at me.
Oh.
And he remembered me. It was only like 2 years earlier.
Yeah.
But he walked me over, introduced me to Beckham, said hello, asked about how the property that I was working at was, wished me well.
Wow.
Could not have been nicer. And it's like Yealang said, there's a few people that inspire you, that motivate you, that you aspire to be, that you want to model your career after. He's another one. He's just a smart, bright, actively creative person who's really, they say it takes 10 years to become an overnight sensation.
Yeah.
It also takes 10 years to become a bitter, frustrated creep.
Yes, I'm sure. Yes.
He worked a very long time and in a lot of really high-end places to get where he is.
Yeah.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and he appreciates that. And I worked really hard with him. He's one who's exceptional. He really is exceptional. He's a class act, and he could not have been nicer to me. And I stayed at a hotel in New York. He bought me dinner, bought me drinks. He really went above and beyond, and he's not required to.
No, of course not. Yeah.
I was just a guy who worked with him for 2
What
years.
shows did you do with him?
I did Hotel Hell,
Oh, I remember that. Okay.
and then I was a guest on Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, okay. Hell's
Yeah,
Kitchen,
and that
yes.
was a lot of fun to eat and drink for free and not get yelled at. or
I
called-
always try to
called a
find.
donkey.
Hey, where was that Hell's Kitchen? I always try to find it.
That was in Culver City.
Oh, it's Coastal. Okay, we were trying to find. We were looking at the outside when it was so real
Nope,
quick.
nope,
You
nope,
can't
nope.
see
It's
nothing.
very hidden,
It's
yes.
very hidden. I'm
Yes,
sure.
sir.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's not far from where I live. I had a feeling.
Right. And then another one I worked with is Liddy Bastianich.
Oh yeah.
And her and Mario Batali and Joe Bastianich and Nancy Silverton have all kind of commandeered the Italian-American market. I worked for her in Pittsburgh. I helped open up that property, Lydia's. And it was a Northern Italian scratch kitchen. And it's another one. This woman works, and she's got a cookbook out every year. She's got a variety of shows, and she would come visit from New York or Italy and bust butt in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And we did a trade show. We've done a variety of trade shows
good.
for a variety of reasons. And she was talking, and she remembered me and waved to me again. And that's, you don't know, because these are, people who have a multi-million-dollar business.
Yes.
And she was very kind and introduced me to the crowd and signed a book for me, and very, very sweet. Really good moment.
I've done food service back in the past, but it's as a waiter. I've done the waiter side of things. But I always admired for everyone from line cooks to sous chefs to chefs to people who work. I mean, day in day out, you're working in conditions that are like small or very high heat. There's pressure. It's like you gotta get stuff out. You're creating magic in your plates. You've both been doing it for years. I mean, how do you just kind of stay in the business? I mean, how is it for you guys these days?
It's about training. It's not about not just you. It's about training. It's about working with a team of people, so that everybody's executing at the highest possible level.
Yeah, you should never be doing it by yourself.
Wow.
That's how you fail. Yealang's absolutely correct. It's team-oriented, goal-oriented, and one team member supports the other. It's a cog in a wheel.
And at Soul Hollywood, it looked like you guys were all working well together. Everybody was just in there doing their thing.
If you call a restaurant Soul, you better act like you have
Okay.
one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like
For
that.
real.
That's very true. Let's show a couple of food items that we have up there. And that was so good. Oh my God. Those are those sliders. Oh my God, it was so good.
We have a baker who makes all of our bread.
That was afterwards.
What is that? That looks like a crime scene.
Yes, that was afterward. It was a crime scene. I had it on purpose. Like that was a crime scene. That was afterwards.
CSI Hollywood. Pork ribs.
I mean, just the food is just all good. It was good.
That looks like the halibut.
Yeah.
Lion cod halibut.
Yeah.
Cauliflower puree.
Oh my God, that's so good. Oh my goodness. And some of the things you brought today. So so we have I have pictures on, post all these pictures online, of course. You have the mac and cheese with bacon. So
Deep dish mac and cheese with the bechamel sauce, which is one of your five mother sauces. We've also got it's in a cast iron skillet. So we, as Yealang said, if we don't have any soul or we're not soulful in the kitchen, then we might as well close the door. So, and that goes with the aesthetics as well. So we're mindful of that. So you'll see a lot of wood, a lot of cast
Yeah, you
iron.
guys have that, yes.
It's really sexy and it looks really rustic.
Yes.
Looks like something my grandmother, Yealang's grandmother would have.
Mine too.
I have a cast iron that I stole from my parents, by the way. I don't know if they're listening, but stole from them that I have in my house when I drove across country.
You still
I still
use
use
it?
it. Of course I do.
We used to have a cast iron one. It's funny, Dad, and original iron griddle for our pancakes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That means like generations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think still makes good
Yes,
pancakes.
exactly. Like perfect pancakes.
Yes.
Right.
You get these new things, you're like, they don't work.
It's
Anyway,
got a
so-
grill mark on it. It also leaves one in your butt if you're not doing your job
Right,
correctly.
there you go. I like that. And then, of course, we got the chicken.
Yes.
Okay, I'm biting in, you guys.
You better go in.
Okay, now, I haven't had the chicken, so this is my first time. But I want you guys to talk about the chicken a little bit.
So this is a recipe. It's my family's recipe, but obviously we have tweaked it. We took a traditional Southern recipe and we've
Tweaking and some twerking going on in that
we
kitchen.
have twerked. All of us have contributed to make sure that we kicked. We wanted to just keep taking the chicken to the next level.
It's so good right now.
It's organic. It's marinated. It marinates overnight, and then we cook it all. We cook chicken all day. They're cooking chicken right now. Chicken's flying out of that door.
Girl,
Flying in.
that batter, that skin is so good right now. I'm like, oh my God. You shouldn't eat skin, but if you're going to eat some chicken,
It's
that's the
organic,
skin.
exactly.
It's organic.
Yeah.
You got to treat yourself sometimes.
Oh my God, it's so good. I take the crumbs. I was like eating the crumbs right there. I don't want to chew Marissa's ear right now, but I want to taste it for a little bit. I was like,
Yes.
I will. Trust me, it's good. I can't wait to finish that in a second.
I almost said finger licking good, but I don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
we'll do
I don't
that.
wanna
But like,
No.
chew
Step
away.
back,
Okay,
step
she
back.
said chew away. So one more bite.
She said you can go ahead.
I could hear that crunching from over here.
It is totally the skin. So good.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I don't want to waste any of these crumbs. So good. So I tell you, they're really good. This is why I have a show.
Well, you know that it's not just chicken that you're getting on that traditional plate. You're going to get a hot sauce. You're going to get a whipped honey serrano butter.
That's right.
And you're going to get one of our buttermilk biscuits that are about 2 inches deep.
These are the biscuits.
Yeah, those biscuits are. Hold one up. Just hold one up.
I need a couple of hands here to hold this
Again,
thing
that
up.
thing is huge, and it's so good. I had it. It was so good.
Size matters.
So yeah.
Look at
In
that.
biscuit world, yes, it does.
Sweet Jeebus. Look at that.
Yes, and you serve that with special butter, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God! And so those are made from scratch too, right? I mean, from just a recipe that just.
We're
butter-
almost 100% scratch kitchen. We
my God.
we go out a lot. We don't like cans. We don't like jars. We don't like frozen. We get product in our restaurant literally every day. Yeah.
Wow. You're not far from the on Sundays the Hollywood
Farmers
Market.
Market.
I go there all the time.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And I see chefs there all the time. Actually,
You might see
Sure.
me.
I might run to if I see. I know
Yeah,
that.
Yealang and I have gone several times. And
Okay.
we love the product they have there. We see a lot of chefs there. They've also
Yeah.
got the live music, which is also
Yeah, they
important
do.
to both of us
Yeah,
as well.
they do. Yeah, no, I like it. And they serve food there too. They have a whole row. They have food. I go there all the time for stuff. If I see you guys, and I know you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I say hi. And now these ribs are the bomb. I've had them and they're so good. Can you talk about them a little bit?
Those are St. Louis pork ribs. Those have been smoking in apple wood for about 8 to 12 hours. And that's a Memphis dry rub on there. Again, as Yealang mentioned, almost everything here is an amalgamy of cultures. So
Yeah.
we've got a Louisiana hot chicken. We've got the fried chicken. We've got some French mac and cheese.
Yes.
We've got some French beignets over here.
Beignets,
Yep.
that's right.
And the ribs are, again, no exception to that. They've been smoking for such a long time that the meat will almost fall completely off the bone.
They do. They
Yeah.
do. When I have at the restaurant, they fell into my hands.
We had to put them on a wood platter because if she brought them individually, the meat would have fallen off the bone, much like that crime scene you showed earlier.
I know. I was like,
Yeah.
they're, oh my God, they were so good. And they have briskets. They have, okay, so what right now is like your probably most known item at the moment?
It's probably 3 items. It's
Okay.
Yealang's fried chicken.
I see why.
It's our smoked platter, which has, yeah, I mean, hundreds a week. It's you don't know what's going to take off.
No, you don't. You don't know.
I
Yeah.
thought it'd be the fried chicken. I thought it could have been the wine. It could have been. You don't know. You
Yeah.
have hope, and you put a lot of work into it. But the smoked meat platter, it's smoked brisket. It's smoked pork shoulder, which
Yes.
falls apart.
Oh, I had that too. It was so good.
Right,
Oh my
it's
God.
the pork ribs,
Yeah.
and then we have jerk chicken on there too.
But
Yes.
you know what people that I'm seeing that people appreciate is having some smoked food on Hollywood Boulevard. I don't
Yeah.
think there is any smoked
I
food
can't
over
remember any.
there.
There isn't.
No,
Right?
there's
No.
lots of pizza and
Right.
burgers and
Yes.
Popeyes.
Wings.
You
Yeah,
know,
wings,
but people
yeah.
appreciate having a smoke because we have a smoker that's on 24/7, and
We
I
op-
love having that smoker
Yeah,
go.
we actually open it up a couple times throughout the day. Yealang will come in the kitchen and pop it open, and the smoke billows out in the restaurant just to remind people that we're actually cooking in the place. Some of the tenants above us love it, and some of them are like, "Are you smoking again? What are you smoking down there?"
They do. They do.
Yeah.
They love
We
it.
want to remind them though, we're cooking.
All right, so okay, so what if someone says what is the food at Soul Hollywood? What are the senses you would say to people to describe the food?
I think you always ultimately want to appeal to all 5 senses.
Okay.
You know, you want to smell it, you want to taste it, you want to see it, you want to feel it, and you want to hear it. I mean, that cast iron is sizzling when it comes out to you.
Wow.
It's all 5 senses. What do we want to say that again? I'm sorry.
I'm saying no. You just I'm getting hungry as you're just talking. I'm getting hungry. I'm saying describe the restaurant to people, the food in the restaurant to people in a few sentences. Like, what would you say?
Yealang?
I would say that we found a way to put soul on a plate. Come check it out.
Well, that's to the point. There's some soul on the plate too. I'm looking at this chicken skin. It's like so good. Right now.
Got some blue-eyed soul in there too.
I'm like, yes,
Not all
that's
about
right.
not all about Robert Johnson at the Crossroads.
Hey, we like Hall Notes.
Yes.
We liked George Michael.
Right.
We liked Elton John.
Yes, we
BG,
still do.
Candle in the
Bee
wind.
Gees,
Candle in the wind.
yeah, Bee Gees,
Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Soulful.
be there
Tina Marie.
Yeah.
all day.
How about Average White Band? All
Yes.
of them. We all. I know they were
David Matthews Band.
Yes,
I
that's
love
it.
me some
Okay,
David
so
Matthews.
we know there's some soul out there
Yeah.
that comes from the
Little
blue eyes.
Stevie Winwood, blue-eyed first
That's
blue-eyed
right.
soul.
He did.
Hey, Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
That's
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll go with that one. Now some blue eyes in my family, so that's
See?
okay.
See, there you
There's
go.
something in there. But no, I just want people to know that this place it's a bunch of things here, but everything is very soulful. It's fresh. It's good. It's familiar. Which I think people like to go to places where they taste something and goes, this is really good, but it just reminds me of something.
Well, food, as Yealang will testify, food and music are so powerful.
Yes.
And, we try to incorporate both in everything we do. Again, food and music are integral to our lives. We grew up with food and music. Heavily influences everything we do. We listen to certain music when we cook.
I
We
like
listen
that.
to certain music when we eat. And again, if the chicken reminds you of something you had when you were a kid, it's probably because it reminds us of something when we were a kid, and we're trying to recreate that. Recreate those images, recreate those memories. It's such a visually powerful thing, food is. And it's very personal for everyone who eats it. Like the beignets, everyone who come in who comes in and tastes these, the first thing they say is, I've been to New Orleans. And immediately I go, well, that's very powerful that it stuck with you. Even if they were bad,
Right.
it's powerful because they remember it. And part of our job is to try to remind them of those good and warm and loving memories of people gathering around a table and sharing a meal together and sharing stories.
And then also, I want to speak to, yes, it's soul food, but we have remembered the people that are vegan and vegetarian, that have allergies, and that are just food sensitive. And we go out of our way to take care of those people so that they're not threatened, that they can come and have a wonderful experience. And we have items on that menu that speaks to that takes care of everybody. So
Yeah, you don't want to put yourself in a corner.
Yeah.
and then also, we haven't spoken about it, but we got that happy hour. We got a
Mention it.
fierce
Really-
happy hour.
really happy.
Tell 'em
That
about it.
happy hour is so happy right now. That happy hour is popping. We have a $6 a glass of champagne. It's like a rosy French champagne. When you sip it, you start having an orgasm. Straight up.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
curls, your feet start curling.
Yeah, exactly. Clutch your pearls. I love that.
And you can get some ribs, and we're doing these beautiful fries. And what's that extra shake on the fries that we're adding?
We
That's
use white
beautiful.
truffle oil.
Oh,
Ooh, that
it's
sounds-
divine.
Real white truffle oil, yeah.
With some ribs.
Not flavored, real truffle oil.
Happy hour, popping.
What time is it from? Where is it from? From to
It's
4 to
from-
7 p.m.
Yes,
That's good.
It's
Yes,
about
that's
to
good.
start, so y'all need to get on over there.
Okay.
We're
it's
getting
like-
happy
Show
right now.
up.
7 days a week.
That's good. Oh, 7 days a week. That's
7 days
good.
a week, 4 to 7.
Okay, so let's get to that part. Okay, so you have dinner obviously this week, happy hour. Do you have breakfast and lunch every day?
We have lunch from 11 to 4.
Okay.
And then when people are just starting to feel sexy and happy, we kick in the happy hour. And then when they're really happy, we start throwing out those beignets.
Yes. Oh, I know this. It was the first thing I had at the table. They sent to me. I was like, oh my god.
Well, we wanted to awaken your palate.
You did.
Yes.
And both of the sauces compotes over there, they're really good.
It's a blueberry and port wine compote
Yeah,
and
so
a summer peach with corn whiskey.
That was my favorite.
Oh, good.
I'm a huge peach person.
Sure, sure,
and
sure.
whiskey person.
Sure.
That's another story. Whiskey, scotch is another
Right,
story.
right.
I like my brown liquors.
Yes.
I do a
I'm
lot.
glad to know that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those. Because I like to sip. I like to just relax.
We would have the sipping whiskey growing up in North Carolina.
Yeah.
We would always sit on, an uncle or grandfather would sit on the
Yeah.
porch on the rocking chair and just
Right.
sipping the
That's
whiskey
me
or the
now.
moonshine. Yeah.
I have a front porch, and I'm a grandfather, and I have gray in my beard, so I just
a little salt and pepper, it's a little seasoning. It's okay.
I earned every
Yes.
gray hair. I said it means wisdom. I earned every
Right.
gray hair.
Right.
Now tell my children that. So you guys are open every day from
Yes.
what time to what time?
11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
good.
Sunday through Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. till 12 p.m. The kitchen, but the bar is open until 2 a.m. every
Bar
day.
until 2 a.m.
Yes, sir.
There's a long bar with. They told me the. I thought I wrote this down. There's like over how many?
I could do the numbers for you. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
It's
tell 'em.
Chinese arithmetic here. 250 types of wine.
Yeah.
150 types of alcohol. I believe we have 18 different types of beer. And again, it's
Artisan beers.
artisan
Yeah,
beers,
artisan beers, yeah.
highly allocated. A lot of it's very difficult to come by. A lot of the liquors that we have on our liquor program are local, so we try to support the community. Much like California, we want to support the community that we live in. It's better that you support local,
I agree.
regional, seasonal,
I agree.
and we're all about that.
I totally agree. Oh my god, I totally.
I
agree.
wish we had brought you a cocktail.
I know. I wish I had a cocktail too
What
right
about
now.
me? I could go for a cocktail. Over here with these beignets, I'm gonna start doing
I
shots.
know, I'm sitting there staring at this macaroni and cheese with the bacon. Now I always ask my guests the same two questions. I never prep them. Of course, you at home, you guys who watch the show know this. I never prep the guest.
I'm single. I'm 6 feet tall. Oh, sorry. Wrong question. Wrong show.
Hey, he's a good cook.
Yeah.
That's a catch right there. He's a good cook. He'll cook for you. Well, do you actually? Before I even speak words, do you guys cook at home?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So you still do? Even though you cook here.
I love it.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
And then I always plan ahead, since I know that I'm gonna be busy and I'm doing stuff for the
Yeah.
restaurant. So I take time. You have to take care of yourself.
Okay.
Because then that way when you're at the restaurant, you're whole. You're not worried because you've taken care of what you need to take
Yeah.
care of. You
Yeah.
can focus.
And so you cook too?
Every day.
Oh, you do. Okay. So you guys are in. You're in.
Yeah.
When it comes to food.
I mean, it's you can tell when people have jobs and people have careers.
Yes.
And there's a huge difference.
There is.
And Yealang and I have been doing this a very long time. And I'm reticent to say the phrase passionate because that's the new buzz phrase.
yes.
But, we have passion for what we do. We have soulfulness for what we do. We're actively creative people. I'm in the restaurant 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I literally am. I open it. Sometimes I'm opening and closing, and it's long hours, but I'm not working in a factory. I'm not digging a ditch. I'm
Yeah.
not shingling a roof.
Yeah.
I'm being actively creative. I'm filling people's bellies with food,
Yeah.
and
And
they're
hearts
happy,
with
and their
soul.
hearts
Yep.
with soul.
Yep.
And the time flies, and you really enjoy it, and you're seeing you're making a difference in people's lives, and that makes all the difference.
You are affecting change people's lives. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my 2 words. Okay, so I asked everybody. I believe language means a lot. So I asked my guests these same 2 questions. One, this is for each of you. What word do you think you should not say in the English language anymore? So if you
Say
take
that
one,
again?
take one word out of the English language. What word would it be?
Nigga.
That's usually one. Yes,
No.
like that. No. Now on the opposite. What word should we say more of in the English language?
Excellent.
What's up? That's the first time for that one.
Please.
Excellent.
That's the first time for that one.
Go
too.
in the South, you'll hear please and thank you all the time. Yes,
Oh
sir.
my God. I'm always teaching my friends' kids like say please, say
Mm-hmm.
thank you. That is very much a Southern thing
Yes, sir.
that we is saying yes sir or saying I always say Miss Helen, Miss Susan. I
Mm-hmm.
can't. I say people go. Are you from the South? I go. My family is.
I remember watching interviews with Elvis Presley, who was arguably one of the biggest stars on the planet for such a long time. And you see him on interviews, and he's like, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am. And this is the king of rock and roll talking to anybody, and it's even in the military.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, no, sir.
Yes.
It's very
Yes.
Southern.
And I want to go back to you because we're on Black Hollywood Live.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the word, taking the N word out, nigga out. And it's funny, it's a show that I like on Team Michael Say the Show. I love the show. And they use the word a lot. And I find myself just bothered by it. You know, that's their artistic expression. They do it. But what is one of the reasons why you think it should just not be said anymore?
I just think I feel like we're sending people to space. I mean, we're heading to Mars. Why
Yes.
do we have to? Why are we still using this word that has
Yeah.
hurt people over and over and over again? I just feel like we're better than that. All of us, everybody.
Everybody. Yeah, I feel the same way. I just wanted to touch on that a little because we are Black Hollywood Live, and you mentioned that. But I like that. But excellence, I like that word. No one's ever said that before on the show. I like that.
The reason that I chose that word because I just think as human beings, I feel like people should be nicer to one another. People should support one another. People should listen to one another, and that brings personal excellence. It makes it energy. It brings it just helps everybody grow. And
I've
so-
heard that before, that we're all energy, and we are.
Yeah, I believe that.
And that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen more than you talk.
Okay, I like that. I never heard that. I like that. I'm all about active listening. I'm all about that. But I always say, and I say it on the show all the time, people should be nice. Nice should be the norm. Mm-hmm. It doesn't cost you anything to be nice.
100%.
But it costs you a thing when you're not nice.
It does.
Absolutely.
Isn't that funny how that
And
works?
you know when you're doing it too.
Right. Well, you know what you're
it.
doing. I mean, I'm as perfect as I can be. But there are times when I'm not in a good mood, and I can tell when it's happening. I'm not in a good mood.
Right.
And how I'm treating someone else.
It's contagious.
It is.
It's the same way in the kitchen. It's nothing unique about that. If someone
Wow.
comes in, there's negative energy, or if they're in a great mood, it sweeps very quickly.
What advice would you give young chefs starting out today?
I would advise them to really get out there and work with different types of chefs, because different types of chefs will offer you're going to learn different things. They're doing different techniques. And so I would say that the experience and the reason I would say that you really learn much more when you're in the field, when you're really working in the kitchen. Textbooks will teach you only so much, but it's nothing like getting that experience.
Hands-on, yeah.
And also, I would also say to a new chef to get some mentors, mentor up, several, more than one, and for different things.
Yeah, that's smart. What do you think?
I concur everything she
Yeah.
said. I mean, I've had a lot of people approach me over the years, and hey, I'm thinking about going to culinary school, and I go, don't.
Interesting.
You're going to learn more in 6 months working in a kitchen than you will in 4 years in school. You know, they don't teach you what happens when the chicken shows up late, or when the dishwasher calls out, or when you've got 40 tickets in front of you, or when the chef is hungover. They don't teach you any of that stuff. You need experience. And she's right. I mean, in any field, I think expanding your palate, both literally and metaphorically, trying to get as much experience. Like, I worked in a Japanese kitchen, I worked in a kosher kitchen, I worked in a Hawaiian kitchen, I worked in French kitchens, Italian kitchens, and there's a certain dance to all of them that's similar. Like, I think Yealang will agree. You can, if you've been doing this long enough, you can walk in any kitchen and figure things out. but the experience of working in different cultures with different people, whether it's a chef or cook. I worked in places before where the dishwasher ran the show.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you know, the restaurant makes or breaks if you don't have a clean dish, a clean spoon,
That's
a clean
true.
knife.
Well, that's very true.
And if you upset that dishwasher, or if he's not or she's not in a good mood, you're done. You're back there scrubbing dishes, and I've done that many times too, and I don't want to go back.
No, you
So
don't-
a lot of please and thank yous in Seoul.
Yes, I like that. You guys, I mean, this restaurant's really good. I mean, I can't even stress it enough how good this restaurant is. And like I said, if you live here, you should go check it out. If you're visiting, you should go check it out. If you're planning a visit, you should go check it out. Like, I'm dead serious. I'm telling you. Tell him James Lott Jr. sent you.
Breakfast is coming soon.
That's coming soon, okay. I don't know what my name will give you, but just say I sent you. See what happens. I was just saying that James, you're like, okay, that's nice. Have a seat. But they're good. But I mean, the food is seriously, for me, trying to find food like this in Los Angeles is kind of rare. A lot of places have gone belly up, have left. Running a restaurant is not easy. Having a restaurant is not easy. There's a million of them. This place I went around for a long time. It's really good food.
Me too.
And the staff is really nice. And the staff was really great. Good service. My sister went there. Great service for her too. So like, we can vouch this is a good place to go.
It's
for a good meal.
It isn't always the food. It is always the drink.
Right.
It's the ambiance. It's the attitude. It's the greeting. Again, there's a lot of please and thank yous in that place because we all work very hard and we're all trying to do a very good job. And Yealang said we're trying to get better every day. So your experience today will be great. You come in tomorrow, it'll be even better.
They're on Twitter. They're on Twitter at Hollywood7046. You can go there and see some. They announce things on there, and I see there's pictures and stuff they have going on, different events that go on there. And so I follow it already. So you go ahead and follow it. I think you guys are also on Instagram and Facebook too. I believe they're also on there. Just look at because the place is Seoul Hollywood, but it's 7046 Hollywood Boulevard. I think I said it 5 times now. 7046 Hollywood Boulevard. We'll go there. Chef Giulian, Chef Yealang, thank you very much for being on the
Thank
show.
you so
for having
much.
us. We
And you
appreciate
enjoy all this deliciousness that we have
my
in
God.
front of you
Empty
today.
plates soon.
Yeah, shortly after we get off this thing, I'm like, I'm digging. I'm already got stuff planned out as I was talking to you guys. I'm like, how should I keep doing my show? And I'm planning out. I want some of that. I want some of that.
Biscuit's trying to climb off that table.
It
right
is
now.
trying to
He's
roll over.
afraid.
It's trying to roll over
He
here.
knows what's coming.
I'm like, this is crazy. You guys for sure. Listen for sure. Exactly. You guys, this is Breaking Into, and this is on Black Hollywood Live. We're talking about Seoul Hollywood, which again is on 7046 Hollywood Boulevard. You can go to Hollywood 7046 is the Twitter handle. Go there first, and I'll tell you leech and everything else that's on there. And it's really good, you guys. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me at James Lott Jr. We're all James Lott Jr.'s are sold. We have a Facebook page called Breaking Into. Breaking Into is on Black Hollywood Live, which has its own Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook handles. They're also on iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud. We're all over the place. This show is everywhere. You can watch them there everywhere. And this show is on to share this with people who like to eat food. Said share this episode. And this links will be up there. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.